the league. These are two good coaches who have got better players this year, and the results are speaking for themselves.
And for Mike Young, he's going to get somebody back today, and that's Toby Lawal, arguably the best player for Virginia Tech. He hadn't played in the last 9 games. He's not going to start the game tonight, but his presence could be a key factor for the Hokies, not only tonight, but throughout the rest of the season.
They're 6-0 when Lawal has played this year. Meanwhile, Stanford has a burgeoning superstar, the freshman phenom Ebuka Okori, an electric force for the Cardinals.
And probably the most underrated player in the country. This guy is as good as any of the freshmen that are getting all the hype around the country. The way he's playing is really, he's a game changer for the Stanford team.
John Gaffney, Tony Chiazza, Christopher Merlot, our 3 officials. It's a Bay Area, Virginia doubleheader. We got Cal and UVA later, but right now Stanford and Virginia Tech, just the 4th ever meeting between these two programs. Neo Abdalas, the freshman point guard from Greece, runs this Hokie offense after a disappointing 3-point loss at Wake Forest on Saturday. Abdalas' first shot rattles in.
The scorer. This guy looks to score. That's what he does. Experienced European player, and there's a lot of them over here this year, and they made a big difference in college basketball.
Stanford coming off a really phenomenal performance after a miserable ACC opener in which they only scored 40 against Notre Dame. They doubled that offensive output in an 80-76 win over Louisville, which really speaks to the Cardinals' ceiling. Straightaway 3, Chisholm Okpara can't connect, rebound Jalen Bedford.
And each team has started the game in the man-to-man, and Stanford, they rely just a little bit more heavily on the 3-point shot than does Virginia Tech, although neither one shoots an excessive amount of 3. Stanford wants to get into the lane and get to the free throw line.
Bedford rising up, offensive rebound, stick back for Hansberry, rims out. But another offensive opportunity here until Bedford turns it over. And a foul.
That's a European foul right there. A fast break, let's take him out of there and get the ball out of bounds. That's what they do in Europe all the time in any of those transition situations.
The foul was called on Jaden Shute, who's from Yorkville, Illinois, but your point stands. Mike Young in his 7th season.
He watches TV too.
Jim, with guys like you stepping aside, Mike's now the 3rd longest tenured head coach in the ACC, if you can believe that.
That guy wins every year. Who's that guy in Indiana football? He says, I win. Well, that's what Mike Young does. He wins wherever he's been.
Long time at Wofford, created a SoCon powerhouse in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And that's an ugly pass from Oscar Heelte.
And that's going to be a problem for Stanford because they use a lot of high screens, and Okori's going to try to go off the screen, and when he does, his other players have to help him out. That time he threw the ball to Heelte. Heelte didn't even try to score, and he threw the ball away.
Well, it was a good pass. There was just nobody there.
Yeah,
that's what
I made a lot of those passes.
Threw it with purpose, just misplaced purpose. Abdalas to Hansberry, looking inside for Gerdak, and it's knocked away by Agarwal, and the Cardinal take over.
Stanford has a very good defensive team. They force a lot of turnovers.
Virginia Tech's been one of the best throughout the season in taking care of the basketball, except for Saturday. There's Ebuka Okori getting started early, knocking down the triple.
And that's a great sign for Stanford because Okori, he's an adequate 3-point shooter, not a great one, and so he's got to feel good that that first one went in.
At least 25 points in 7 games already this year for Okori. Hansberry. This is again close to the rim. Pretty good defense there from Okpara.
Well, you see, they jump right out off that screen. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Okpara going to work on Hansberry this time. Chisholm, too strong off the glass. Rebound controlled by Heelte. Going right back over Gerdak, no good. Ahead, Jaden Shute blocked by Agarwal. Pretty good defensive intensity in these opening minutes.
Good defensive teams. You know, Shute, you get the ball, you're a shooter. That's who he is, a shooter. You got to look at the guy coming, pump fake, you get a wide open shot.
Kyle Smith in year 2, having a laugh with Jim Shaw. When I walked into Castle Coliseum today, before the game, I saw Jim Shaw sitting in Mike Young's seat, eating popcorn the way Mike Young used to courtside. Shoot inside the arc. Shot clock at 7 for the driving Bedford, and again it rims out. Second chance, swatted away by Hilte.
Some really good defensive plays early here for Stanford.
Hokies have missed their last 7 shots.
And a couple of them have been from close range. Not uncontested, but real close to the goal.
Hilte to the basket.
Wow.
There's a guy that got going with his defense and now turned it over on the offensive end and said, here I come.
The freshman from Belgium with a loud 2 as Keeler gets called for the reach-in foul on Dallas.
Well, Hilte has only made, that's his 20th field goal make of the year.
And today's his 15th game.
Yeah.
Here's Toby Lawal, his first appearance since late November, and the Hokies are happy to have him back.
I always liked to start a guy when he was coming back and he'd been a starter, but everybody does it a little bit differently. He looked good in warm-ups today.
He averaged over 30 minutes a game in his first 6 games of the season. Averaged a double-double as well, about 13 and 10. See what he can do after the long layoff. This is Hansberry. Hansberry is now 0 for 3.
You know, Mike Young has no problem with them shooting threes, but they got to move the defense around a little bit so they can create some better offensive rebounding opportunities.
Jeremy Dent-Smith into the game as well, and he turns it over.
And who tipped that one away? It was Lawal. And now Lawal's got a mismatch inside.
Shooting unrecognized, he goes to work. Here's Lawal scouting for the offensive board. Toby Lawal is back.
Or if they're not going to throw it to him, he's going to go get it himself.
They like having this guy back here.
Reminding any Virginia Tech fan who may have forgotten, he's got incredible athleticism. Here's Okpara, and the horn sounds as Okpara was driving. They play on.
That was in the stands, maybe.
I think,
now they're going to stop the clock.
Shot clock stopped.
So a clock issue, and we'll get a timeout. How about the freshman from Belgium, Oscar Hilte, detonating early, but Toby Lawal making an impact immediately here in Blacksburg. Cardinal with the early 1-point lead here inside Castle Coliseum, and a clock malfunction led to our first media timeout, gentlemen, in kind of an awkward way.
Well, it's kind of an awkward way, and what happened was there in the right-hand corner, you can see the clock stops. So the referees are now trying to figure out how long it's been stopped. And this is a situation where when that happens and there's a play going on, you don't blow the horn, you wait till the play's over, but the horn blew. And so because the horn blew, the officials didn't really have any choice but to stop the game. And so what they're trying to figure out now, you saw the clock stop with 15:07, and we played a long time before they stopped the game.
You say you want to let the play unfold, but at some point they need to recognize that there's no shot clock anymore and the play does need to stop, right?
No, when the clock blows, I think they have to stop the game there, because otherwise you have no idea what the clock's doing, no time.
They're still sorting things out.
Well, they have to get the game clock and the shot clock synchronized because they both stop. So there's 15:07, and nobody told me there was going to be math tonight, Jim. But there was 15:07 and 18. So they have now taken 15 seconds off the game clock, so they have to take 15 seconds off the shot clock.
Well, as they sort it out, let's talk basketball. And
right.
Specifically, Abuka Okori, who's from the East Coast. He's a Nashua, New Hampshire kid. He's just 18 years old. He won't be 19 until April. And yet his impact for Stanford so far this season has been remarkable.
Well, he's a late bloomer. He was going to go to Harvard. He was all set. Tommy Henniker does a great job identifying talent, but then he kind of blew up at Brewster Academy and Now he's been in the big time, and he deserves to be here.
But it's just incredible the things that he has done so far for Stanford. The only bad game he really had was against Notre Dame.
And he bounced back from that pretty darn nicely.
And here's where he stands. Now everybody has heard about those first two guys, but nobody has heard about Ibuka Okori.
On the ACC conference call on Monday, Mike Young was asked about Okori and said, he looks like he's 18. He plays like he's 36.
He's a good player, really good player. He's off to a great start.
All right, so my math is off here.
Shocking.
All right, they've reset the shot clock to 16, 14:52 on the game clock.
The ball bounced off the rim, so they had to figure that out too.
Hopefully it's not an issue again. Okori misses the three, and the rebound ripped down by Hansberry.
But you can see the pressure Virginia Tech is trying to put on Okori to force him to give up the ball. His teammates, particularly his big guys, are going to have to be able to score inside.
A.J. Rahosi into the game for Stanford. Jaden Shoot, rise and fire, knocks down the three.
That's the shot they're looking for over there. He can shoot it, and when he gets open looks, he makes it.
Okori to Agarwal, who hit 4 threes in the win over Louisville.
But that's what Agarwal wants to do, is shoot the three. He doesn't want to drive to the basket.
Referees look at each other. It's Hokie basketball.
When Agarwal has a shot that's open in the corner, I think the Stanford offense really requires that he take that shot. But you notice, Jim, Rahosi rolled down the middle of the lane. They didn't even look for him.
Well, and when you drive from that corner, they've got too much help there. You're not going to the basket against this team. Either team. They're both good defensively. The secondary defender.
Well, last Wednesday here at Castle, Hokies a triple overtime win over Virginia. Just an incredible basketball game, and Virginia Tech dominated in the third OT period. They did it without Lawal, and Toby's going to have a couple hiccups like that in his return to the lineup.
Well, he hadn't played since November. And so it's one thing you practice and, you know, you participated in the shoot-around this morning, but getting out there and actually playing in a game is a different deal.
Hokies still among the best teams in the country in turnovers, despite having a season-high 19 at Wake Forest on Saturday. And the reach and foul goes against Ben Hammond. Hammond was certainly pretty hot the last time he played in this gym.
Really good. 30 against Virginia. That was a crazy game. It looked like Virginia Tech had it won, and then it got away, but then they got it back.
Akpara burrows underneath, and again, too strong off the rim. Cardinal only one field goal in the last 4+ minutes.
And they've missed some close ones too. Again, not uncontested, but they've missed them right up against the basket.
Lawal will take it. What's going on with these rims tonight, gentlemen?
I don't think there's anything going on with the rim. There's something going on with the guy shooting the ball. And I think the defense has something to do with that. This is a tough matchup for Lawal coming back from an injury.
Is that something Stanford can look to exploit? To reach and foul on Gerdak.
The answer to that question is yes, but they're not going to just try to exploit Lawal because Akpara is looking to be aggressive every time he gets the ball. Again, nobody coming to help because they're worried about Stanford's three-point shooters. And Gerdak, you know, he's played really well as a freshman, but he shouldn't have to help out against Rahosi.
Lawal back to the bench after just about 3 minutes on the floor. Aiden Cameron into the game. Goes right at Gerdak. Rebound controlled by Hansberry.
Stanford's best offensive options are not inside.
Dallas on the drive. Loops it around. Same spot for Jaden Shoot. He knocks in another.
That's the guy you want to get open looks for, and that's what Virginia Tech is doing. Find him, shoot, and he's going to make those shots.
Not everybody can make that pass, though.
That's a great pass.
Agarwal misses his first look tonight. Offensive rebound sets up Dent Smith for the reload. Third chance, Rahosi. Nothing doing for the Cardinal.
Wow.
Stanford's missed its last 8 shots. On the offensive glass, Hansberry kicks it.
Now you got to make sure you stay in front of Hammond. He can kill you driving into the lane.
Now Dallas playing physical over Dent Smith taking charge.
Too big, too big.
Timeout, Stanford. 10 straight points for the Hokies. They've held the Cardinal without any points for the last 5 minutes. Hokies off to a superb start at both ends of the floor, gentlemen.
Well, they're doing a nice job. The wall really helped them getting in the game early. An offensive rebound. They've moved the ball very effectively. They've been able to find Jaden shoot a couple times. That is a spectacular pass.
Dallas, that beautiful assist. He's also scored 4 points. Benny Geeler comes up shooting out of the timeout, and Hansberry secures his 7th rebound in the opening 9 minutes. Hansberry hadn't scored yet, though, and that scoreless stretch continues as he turns it over for the second time. Aiden Cannon with a loud 2 to snap the Stanford skid.
Well, Hansberry fell down, couldn't get back in time. And Hansberry doesn't need to drive the ball to the basket. He's a good mid-range shooter, and he can shoot that little one right at the ACC logo.
Now Dallas is a size mismatch against most guys that try to guard him from the guard position. Over Geeler for 2 more.
It's too big for the guards. Once he gets him down there.
Well, Geeler is only 6'1", so he's got an 8-inch height advantage. They started Agarwal on him, and Agarwal's almost his size. But Virginia Tech doing a nice job moving the ball, moving players. They've created that mismatch.
Only 7 points in the first 10 minutes, though, for the Cardinal. Performance more reminiscent of the Notre Dame game than the Louisville game. Agarwal, tough turnaround, goes over Abdalas.
Really good offensive play. Virginia Tech is making Stanford work really hard to get any shot.
Yeah, if those, that's a nice shot, but if those are the kind of shots you're going to be forced to take, your percentage is not going to be very high.
Hansberry puts it on the floor again, brings it back out. Stanford with Akpara and Okori both on the bench right now. Bedford coming off the best scoring game of his Hokie career. This is his first left-handed shot of the night. Geeler circles the wagons, guarded by the much bigger Abdalas.
It's be hard to shoot over him.
Agarwal, not that time. Pokeball.
Well, Stanford does a great job getting the ball up the court quickly. Cameron, number 52, is open because Hansberry, 13, fell down. And then this is just, I mean, that's a great offensive play against the guy who's a couple inches taller.
Tough shot. I'm not going to make a lot of those.
Corey and Akpar are both in. I wanted to ask you, Dan, when you watch Stanford versus Notre Dame and then 3 days later watch them do what they did to Louisville, what does that say to you?
Well, it says to me, first of all, that Okori and Akpara adjusted pretty well. But it also says that Louisville plays at a much faster pace. And this is more of a tempo like that Notre Dame game. Virginia Tech making it really tough in the half court.
Nice pass, and that's a high percentage look there for Amani Hansberry.
Defenses always start out better, and as the game progresses, offensive usually get better. That's what usually happens.
Why is that?
It's just the way defenses are. There's a good open look. There's
Benny
really
Geeler.
good open look.
Shooting 43% from deep so far this season.
He shoots as well from 3 as he does from 2. Don't necessarily need to go for the steal there if you're Virginia Tech and leave him open.
Hammond called for the offensive foul, the clear out.
Well, he did hook him.
That's his second foul.
Well, Hammond has been such a key factor with his ability to drive the ball into the lane. Gieler does a really nice job staying in front. And that's what you have to do. And he does put that elbow out there. But you can't let him get past you. And Gieler just does a great job.
Really tough shot. That's what you have to do. Make him take it tough.
Corey's only taken 2 shots so far. He's 1 for 2, both of them 3-point attempts. Donovan Young in the game for Stanford. Akpara fouled by the wall.
Now, Akpara has not scored in this game yet, and he and Okori score almost half of Stanford's points. So those guys have to be productive.
Timeout on the floor on a balmy day here in Blacksburg in the mid-50s when we arrived to the arena. Hokie fans very excited about the arrival of James Franklin into town here in Blacksburg. And Stanford has a new football coach as well, Tavita Pritchard, brought in by Andrew Luck to resurrect the Stanford football tradition.
And Stanford needs to get to the free throw line. They score a quarter of their points from the line.
Well, Stanford has recalibrated after a stretch in which they didn't score for about 5 minutes. They're back within 2 after trailing by as many as 7.
Well, this is just a gritty, grinding game, and I think that's what you're going to see in the ACC all year long. These are 2 pretty good teams.
Bedford up and under, lays it in.
Now, even though Healte blocked a shot earlier in the game, Stanford is not noted defensively for their shot block.
Another slam dunk at the rim for the Belgian freshman, Oscar Healte.
That was some pass.
Really good pass, of course, really good. He's not getting his shots yet, but he made a great pass there.
After Stanford missed 8 shots in a row, they're now 4 of their last 5 since.
I thought that ball really surprised Healte. He did a nice job catching it. Absolutely.
Bedford pressured by Okori. Tough shot, step back 3, in and out. Healte rises for the rebound. Abuka Okori. He's just quick and slippery and hard to stay in front of. He draws a lot of contact. Didn't get the whistle that time though, and Hansberry grabs his 8th rebound already.
That's a really good defensive play by Hansberry getting in there.
Jaden Shoot, pressure 3, off the front iron.
Yeah, we have to get him off his spot. He's not as good a shooter on the move.
Gieler, Young, Healte, Akpara, and Okori. Chisholm Akpara turned away by Toby Lowell.
Not only did he have his shot block, he lost his shoe.
Isaiah Paksha fouled on the flip trip. Gieler just picked up his 2nd personal.
Lowell blocks the shot, and somehow it was with enough force that the shoe comes off. Now, this is the drive before where
There it is, right here.
Bedford, here we go.
Really good defensive play.
Well, that's what they miss, not having Lowell. He's very bouncy. He's athletic. He's much stronger than you think. And Akpara, that's his game. Be aggressive, drive to the basket.
Dallas triggers the inbound to Hansberry. 6 minutes to play here in the opening half. Dallas coming off tough game at Wake Forest where he turned the ball over a lot early. Hansberry, difficult shot, nothing but net.
Wow. He only shoots 32% from out there. And most of the time he's got to be wide open, but that time it was a guy right in his face.
Yeah. One of those shooters that's better with a hand in his face. Okori.
That's what he does.
Yep.
When he gets in those situations where he can get to the basket, that's where he makes them or gets fouled.
Hammond was playing with 2 fouls and was very careful not to pick up his 3rd. Dallas in and out, rebound, Healte.
Healte is doing a great job rebounding the ball and playing inside tonight. He's been a real factor for Stanford.
No doubt he's made his presence felt. Yilte's got 8 rebounds to match Hansberry, if you can believe it. Akpara lost it on the way to the rim. Yilte, Johnny on the spot. In the corner, it's Donovan Young. And Lowell rips down the board. All 5 guys be on the arc right now for Virginia Tech. Dallas was open. Buries the 3.
Spot up threes and shoot when Dallas gets the open threes. That's the ones they make, not off the dribble.
Pretty good contest there, but Donovan Young scores anyway.
That's what they have to do when they come out and basically double team Okori on that screen. They got to make them pay.
Just the second basket of the season for Donovan Young, and he also picks up his first foul of the night. Free throws for the Greek freshman Neo Dallas when we come back. He can score inside, he can score outside. We've seen he can pass. Hokies by 4. Neo Dallas back to the free throw line. He was 2 for 5 from the floor in a very strange performance on Saturday in Winston-Salem. He's crisp so far tonight. 4 for 5. Looks like himself.
Takes advantage of his size down low, and when he's open, he can make the 3. Really good with the ball, and I think he'll only get better in time. A lot of these young guys are going to get better. They're young players, and they're getting a lot of time, and they're going to continue to improve.
Neo 19 will turn 20 in February. Hokies by 6. Agarwal overshoot. Dallas grabs the rebound, his first of the night.
Agarwal was 4 for 4 from beyond the arc against Louisville.
Different story tonight. Another shot made by Abdallas after the whistle. Foul on Akpara.
But he's just really hard to stay in front of, and there was a little bit of contact there. And
it's a little bit close to an offensive foul as much as it's a defensive foul. He got his shoulder into him.
Well, throughout his childhood, his favorite player to watch has been Luka Doncic. And you see a little Luka in his game, the way he navigates as a big guard, the way he creates space for himself. Hammond rises from 15 feet. And here's the 9th rebound for the freshman from Belgium, Oscar Hilte. Seven different members of the Cardinal basketball team have scored. That's going to be a legal screen, offensive foul, and Aiden Hammond, who looks befuddled by the call.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to look when you get a foul call on.
Every once in a while, there's one of those calls, and it's a point of emphasis. Whether there's that much contact or not, who knows? But they're going to call that. But it's interesting with the 2 big guys, foreign guys, how many guys came over from Europe because of the upgrade in money from playing in Europe. There are young players over there get 100,000. Here they get 10 times that. Some cases.
Dallas doesn't get the bounce this time. Rebound trickles to the corner where Okori tracks it down.
That was a bit of a force, I thought.
Okori, left hand, no, tip back up and in by Hilte. He's got 6 points and 10 rebounds in the half.
And that's why when you're going to the basket like Okori does, just get it up there on the rim. If you don't make it, you give your teammate a chance to tip it in.
You know, you force the big guy to come over and help out.
Hilte continues to be a pest on the offensive glass. He's got at least 1 offensive rebound in 14 of Stanford's 15 games this season. 14 of the 15 he's played, I should say. Hansberry way off. Gieler will skip to his step into the forecourt. Final 2 minutes of the first half. For Stanford to be as close as they are, with Okori and Akpara only having 7 total points, is a decent sign for Kyle Smith.
Well, they did a great job, did Virginia Tech that time, keeping the ball out of the hands of Corey.
Dallas flips it inside.
What a
turns
play
it
by
over.
Gieler.
Outside defense all over.
Gieler just makes plays. Here's Okpara off the good screen.
Ooh.
And an air ball.
Somebody opened the door.
It was windy earlier,
Yeah,
too.
wind caught that one.
That's not a good excuse. Timeout, Virginia Tech. 1:11 to play first half. Mike Young takes his use it or lose it timeout with the Hokies leading by 4. At 6 o'clock, all on ACC Network. Dallas, no look pass inside. Gertak rejected from behind, but the foul called on Anderwall.
Evan, that wasn't just a no-look pass. He looked the whole Virginia Tech defense away. He looked like he was going to throw it out to the top of the key. Everybody from the Stanford defense took a step that way, and he threw it inside to Gerdak.
You know, he is a lot like Luka. He does a lot of things. I'm sure it's one of his favorite players, being from Europe. But he just does a lot of things that you like to see from a young player, and one that's only going to get better.
We watched 19 minutes of basketball, Jim. What would have been your primary impression so far?
Well, right now the defense is overtaking the offense. It sometimes takes a half. I think the second half you'll see a little different scoring. 50 points right now, there'll probably be 60, 70 in the second half.
Stanford's got to figure out a way to get Okpara and Okori going here. But Virginia Tech's done a great job staying in front of both of them until then.
Until then.
He jinxed him. There he goes.
Well, that's, I mean, he's looking to drive the ball. So is Okori.
About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock here. Dallas, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
You got to get as close as you can to the last shot. I hope they don't get something quick down the court.
Dallas, fortunate to get that pass to the corner. Bedford buries the 3. Stanford's got 6 seconds.
Plenty of time.
Okori in front of the Hokie bench, off the side of the backboard, no good. Hokies 9-0 this season when leading at the half. Mike Young's team up 7 at the break tonight. Big bucket for Bedford to extend the lead, and it's 31-24 Virginia Tech at the half as we send it to the studio. Welcome back inside Castle Coliseum. James Franklin is in attendance with some recruits sitting right behind us. Had a chat with Jim Boeheim at the half. I'm sure that meant a lot to Coach Franklin. 31-24, Virginia Tech leads as we welcome you courtside. Evan Lepler, Dan Bonner, the Hall of Famer, Jim Boeheim. The 2 top stars for Stanford in this game, Okori and Okpara, averaged 37 points a game combined. They got 9 at the half. What are you seeing?
Well, I think Virginia Tech is doing a really nice job forcing them to give up the ball. Particularly Okori, he makes his living getting in the lane, he just can't do it.
Can't get in there, and that changes in the second half. Defenses always are ahead a little bit in the first half. They'll get going, he'll get going in the second half. But how about James Franklin? They love him here now. Oh, they haven't played a game.
They haven't played a game.
It's like photobombing our on-camera set here. A guy who's not having trouble getting in the lane, though, Neo Dallas. He's getting where he wants to go.
He's really good. Look at that. That's a type player. He gets in the lane. He can shoot his jumper. He's a good passer. You know, really good player.
Well, he's done a really nice job when he's playing a guy who's a little bit bigger. He's been able to use his muscle, and then here against the 6'1" player, he just gets in there and scores easily. Then they move the ball. He can get out on the perimeter. You know, Jeremy Dent-Smith, I felt bad for him. He's 6'1". He's trying to guard Dallas down on the inside. And I'm telling you, Hansberry is relentless on the inside. He's got those 8 rebounds, and he is one of the main reasons why Okpara hadn't been able to get going.
Jim, if you were Mike Young, what would your message be to your team coming out of the locker room?
You want to keep your defensive intensity. That's what you want to do, and play the same way. You're doing the things you need to do, but their defense is winning them this game right now.
Physical play inside. Gerdak picks up his second foul.
But you want to play aggressively, but I'm not sure that you got to be pushing against Heelte like that. He's had a really good game, but he's not a big offensive threat inside. You don't need to foul him.
He's got some good wrestling moves. He wanted to grapple a little bit. Got good wrestling here in Blacksburg. Corner three, Okpara around and out. He's now 0 for 3 from deep, but Heelte has been the story. Incredible hustle. Keeler from super deep.
He may be the guy that made the toughest shot of the year to win a game for Stanford, and he showed why right there.
Yeah, that was the buzzer beater to beat St. Louis off the missed free throw. A miraculous win for the Cardinal over the Billikens, to the dismay of my Uncle Joel, who used to be a professor at St. Louis University. Hansberry turnaround hook goes.
He is so good when he can get down there and make that little turnaround hook shot, but he's so good around the basket and in the mid-range. He starts that dribble move, he's hard to stop.
Stanford coming into tonight, hoping they could get a Corey going like he did against Louisville. Cardinal 2-0 in quad 1 games this year. The St. Louis win and then the Louisville win. Tonight a quad 1 opportunity. Road game against a top 75 net opponent for Stanford. Both these teams 12 and 3 overall, both 1 and 1 in the ACC. Winning over a top 25 opponent of Dallas. Rebound tipped around. Gerdak fouled. And it'll stay with the Hokies.
Well, Heelte's been everywhere tonight, and that time he did a nice move by not coming up off his knees. That would have been a travel, but it was a nice pass out. And here's Hansberry, gets down inside, and he's just too tough in there.
That's a tough shot, tough mid-range hook.
Dallas kicks it. Hansberry comes up short. Gerdak keeps it alive again. Bedford on the reload. Okpara has the rebound for Stanford. Corey flips it inside. Heelte fouled by Hansberry.
You know, Heelte held his ground a little bit too long out there on that screen, and by the time he was able to catch the ball, the defense came over to recover. Nice idea by Okoro.
Just the third free throw attempt of the game there for Stanford. Oscar Heelte. In the first half, and 10 rebounds, his third double-digit rebounding game of the season.
Fans are trying to come alive. It's a little different when the students aren't here, though.
He missed both.
Well, he misses both, so they get bacon.
Do they? I think it might be only in the last 8 minutes. I'm not sure.
I think it's in the right. Oh, we don't have bacon tonight. Okay. Oh, bacon is only select games.
Why no bacon?
Well, I think the fans are excited because they don't know that this is a select game.
They're expecting their bacon on their way out. Of Dallas. I just don't know what you do against him if you're Stanford to match up with him size-wise.
It's tough when they're little on there. He's going to get a good shot up there. You try to make him take the hardest shot possible and not come over the double team because he's such a good passer. But he's going to make a lot of those, and when you foul him and let him get in there, then that's not a good recipe for Cardinals. That's the deal with all the Europeans that came over. They've been playing in the EuroLeague for a couple of years, some of them 1, 2, 3 years. And that experience is huge. I mean, it's really, really good basketball in those EuroLeague games. And so they're veteran players coming over.
And the fascinating nugget about Dallas, piece of trivia on him, he's the youngest player to score in a EuroLeague game. He was called up during COVID because of injuries and some COVID cases. He scored when he was 15 years old.
I was saying, when did he score? When he was 12? You know, COVID was a while ago.
Well, Luka was the MVP in the EuroLeague when he was about 16 or 17. That's how good he was. And is.
Jim, have you been over to Europe and scouted some of those games in person ever?
I watch them all because my son plays over there. It's really good basketball. Really good. Different. Men. Grown men.
Corey could not convert, and Gerdak is fouled in the rebound action. One of the biggest ways it's different over there.
The biggest thing over there is how physical they are. That's the biggest thing.
Well, now that time Corey was able to get into the lane, but Virginia Tech did a great job covering him up without fouling.
Gerdak's a good freshman. He's a tough kid, and he gets rebounds.
We got 19 against Virginia.
Yeah, surpassing Mike Young's wildest dreams. Dallas just taking control and not giving it back.
He's getting all the little guys down low, and they cannot guard him.
First double-digit lead of the game for Virginia Tech.
And Stanford's really in trouble here. They just can't score.
Someone needs to change that for the Cardinal. Pretty good defense by Shoot on Keeler. Say the same thing for Hansberry on Akpara. Frustration foul there against Chisholm Akpara.
Frustration, I think, is the correct word to use for the Cardinal offense right here. But that's happened to Akpara a couple times. He's gotten in there, but against heavy pressure, he hadn't been able to convert. And if he's not scoring, and Okori's not scoring, where does Stanford find the offense?
Toby Lowell back into the game. Played 8.5 minutes in the first half. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. First game back since late November. Missed 9.
Better matchup down there against the big kid. You got bigger guys out now. Now they're going to go the other way.
Hansberry going at Young.
They did a great job there getting into that switch.
They charge the foul to Donovan Young, not Mike Young. Don't believe there's any relation. Team with never before seen footage, interviews with players and coaches, all right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Gentlemen, what's your one memory of the 1993 Tar Heels?
They scored more points in the national championship.
Was that the Chris Webber timeout? I can't remember. I think it might have been. But North Carolina had a lot of good teams. And that one got across the line.
So Stanford hasn't scored in a while.
They've only scored 3 points in the half.
Agarwal contested by Abdallas.
See, if Dallas is down in the lane, and Agarwal's got to get himself in better position so he can shoot the ball when it's delivered. But that's what Okori wants to do: get down into the lane and get fouled. See, there's no screen here, and he's got an opportunity to just beat his man Hammond in a one-on-one situation. He's hard to stay in front of.
First free throw attempt of the night for a guy that gets to the line a lot.
He's number 12 in the country in free throw attempts.
He's got to get going for them to be in this game. He's got to get going.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left, and they're only down by 8. It's not like they're out of the game. Or, excuse me, by 12. It's not like they're out of the game.
Stanford in their first year in the ACC went 11-9, led by Maxime Reynaud, who's now in the NBA with Sacramento. They were 9-1 at home in ACC games last year, but you can do the math. Their only road wins were at Cal and at North Carolina, which stands out as the outlier. Tough loss for the Tar Heels that night.
It's awfully hard for the California teams. to come all the way to the East Coast. I mean, nobody's going to make any excuses, but that's just really, really hard.
Yeah, they won 2 or 3 games. I think 1 and 2 for Stanford and Cal. It's hard to do. UCLA has the same thing in the Big Ten. Southern Cal got bombed out twice this year. Got Michigan State. Tough to travel.
Now Dallas to Hansberry. Burrows in on Rahosi and scores.
And Burrows in is exactly the way he plays on the inside. He is a load in there.
He's like a gopher, just burrowing in.
He's a gopher who can shoot, though.
Now this tonight, Stanford's second true road game of the season. There's a 3 for Donovan Young. They're counting on him to take a larger role after he missed the first 12 games coming off-season surgery.
Yeah, but the Virginia Tech defense doing a nice job cutting off Okori and then having guys play in the lane. So you're going to have to make some outside shots. And Hansberry, I'm telling you, he is so strong. He gets the ball inside. He does a great job with his pivot foot. I think that time he might have moved it a little bit. But traveling is a thing of the past.
3 seconds of traveling no longer in their game of basketball.
Seeing Hansberry make that too small logo remind me of the story about your son Buddy playing here and scoring, what, 16, 18 straight points several years ago?
Straight. He was given that too little to the 6-foot guard.
And yet your big lead almost evaporated in that game.
He almost lost. 16 or 18.
Almost losing still counts as a win.
Yeah, trust me. We'll take the wins.
Well, while there's still plenty of time left in this game, Stanford's got to get moving offensively.
He'll take for 2.
Well, he's just set up 2 baskets, a 3 in the corner and that one there. And that's what he's doing. He's starting to be a little bit more aggressive. And even if he doesn't score, he's doing something.
The most active guy on the court tonight's been Oscar Hielte, coming up with a steal there. Okori from the elbow knocks it in. A little momentum for the Cardinal.
That's really a nice play.
Well, that's what he just, got himself going with a couple foul shots. Then he gets a couple passes, really good assists, then he hits a jumper. That's what good players do.
Dallas over 2 defenders, no good. And out of bounds to Stanford.
Okori, look, there's 3 guys around him. And he really does a nice job, drives them back because they're worried about him getting to the basket, and then he steps back with that jump shot.
And it's a 7-point game when it was 12, just like 30 seconds to go.
Both get in the backcourt by Pasha. Okori kicks it again. Long 2.
Here it goes.
They call it a 3. Say his feet were behind the line. So Okori has all of a sudden brought the Cardinal back within 4.
Well, we said they had to get moving, and they've moved. So now let's see how Virginia Tech responds.
Dallas fouled by Hielte.
Well, he's definitely behind the line.
Got him behind. He's got 3 buckets, 2 assists, and changed the whole game.
Scored or assisted on Stanford's last 12 months. Wow. Before that, they really hadn't scored in the second half, as you mentioned.
That's what really good players do. They get there when they need to be there. I mean, it looks like Virginia Tech is dominating this game, and it's 4 points.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd think it was much more than a 4-point lead.
Well, we saw Cameron Boozer put Duke on his back in the second half, as he's done many times so far this year. It's Okori, of Dallas, and Boozer. They are the 3-man club. ACC players who have scored 30 points multiple times this season.
They're really good.
Well, I'm really impressed with Dallas. He has created a number of mismatch problems for Stanford.
Long rebound out of bounds to the Cardinal.
Well, and the guy who was out there knocking it out of bounds, who nearly ran it down with his hands, he really plays hard, and he goes after the basketball.
if you're Coach Smith, you got to be pretty happy right now. You haven't played well. Your offense hasn't been good, and you're right in this game, and it's really because of the freshmen.
Kyle Smith said last year we were astronauts doing something that nobody's done before, coming cross country to play conference games. This year he hopes that they'll have a little more toughness and resilience on the road. Excellent defense though that time from the Hokies inside. Hammond pulls it back out for Hansberry. The lane opens up. Hansberry too strong. So the late whistle's going to send Amani to the line.
They get some openings, and he's just really good at driving the ball to the basket.
Number 3 on Agarwal.
Down here, Okori made another great play, and it should have been a bucket. He just couldn't quite handle it.
But that's the thing. As well as Hilte has played tonight, he has not been an offensive threat. Stanford not really looking for him to be an offensive threat. And so if you're the Virginia Tech defense, I don't think you mind that the ball goes inside to Hilte.
No, but he got it right where he needs it.
Yes.
You know, again, Virginia Tech just made a really good defensive play. That's the difference.
Hansberry misses both free throws. Dent Smith flies in for the rebound.
You miss free throws, it's such a difference in games. Such a difference.
And Gerdak called for a touch foul on Kamen as he made his cut.
Well, you can't grab a guy, you can't hang on to him right in front of the official. You know, it's harder to fool the officials since there's 3 of them. But
that's what you call a buzzer play, Dan.
Yeah.
Gerdak immediately removed from the game.
And out you come.
You mean they can see him when they're right in front of them? Oh, I got it. I never realized that.
Now you understand what the refs are looking for, Jim, after all these years.
I never got that. Hold.
See, now they eliminate the screen. They're not setting the screen up there, so he gets a chance to go one-on-one, and it's going to really create some problems. It's just hard to stay in front of him.
Well, they practice against screen and roll so many times that sometimes you're better with a good driver. Just let him go. Don't worry about the screen. Here's a pop.
And we got ourselves a 2-point game. Donovan Young making an impact off the bench.
And Corey again sets that up, another assist.
He scored or assisted on Stanford's last 15 points. And Dent Smith called for the bumping foul as Hammond crosses midcourt. Hokies in the bonus, free throws when we come back. But after Virginia Tech led by 12, Stanford's Ibuka Okori has gotten more involved with everything for the Stanford offense, and it's paid immediate dividends.
But he's been able to get in the lane a little bit more effectively, and he's been able to knock down threes, but also his teammates have helped him out. He's done a great job. He's got 3 assists here in the second half. You can see there, that's pretty impressive.
He's involved in everything they're doing the last few minutes.
And the other thing there is you see Virginia Tech hadn't scored a field goal in the last 3 minutes. Stanford has tightened it up a little bit on the defensive end.
Each team has only turned it over 1 time so far in the second half. Only 12 total turnovers for the 2 teams combined in the game so far.
Well, this game may not be the most aesthetically pleasing game, but these teams are playing hard. There's a tremendous amount of intensity by both teams on both ends of the court. This is the way I think ACC basketball is going to be all year.
First 2 points of the night for Ben Hammond at the line. Mike Young has lost his jacket as this game heads toward the final quarter. Agarwal down the alley. Cross lane, Kamen too strong. Hansberry with a strong hands grabs his 10th rebound of the night.
Well, they did everything except make that basket.
And then nobody stopped the ball.
Miss a layup, and then you come down and give up a layup, and you get a 4-point swing.
Well, we've talked about Okori and his ability to get into the lane. Hammond does it very well, too.
And we know he can heat up quickly. Donovan Young, way off. On the offensive glass, though, Kamen is there.
Again, the Virginia Tech inside players are just not paying very much attention to Kamen or Rahosi when he's in there when they're trying to get offense.
Kamen looking for more and finds it. 6 straight points for Hammond.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
He drives the ball to the basket. You have to stay in front of him.
He won the Virginia game in overtime.
But this is in transition, and if you don't stop him, he's going all the way to the basket. And this is just a situation where there's some confusion. Cameron and Agarwal can't decide who's guarding, and Hammond will make you pay for that every time.
Hammond started a few games, but it's nice to have a guy like him to come off the bench to spark you when there's a little bit of a lull.
And that's why he comes off the bench, because he can provide that spark. And when he's playing at the same time as Abdallah, that gives Virginia Tech some really effective ball handling.
And I think he's really shown a big step up of improvement from last year. He struggled a lot when I saw him last year. Much better player this year.
Double figures in 7 straight games after the missed free throw, though. Hammond's got 6 tonight so far.
Cameron is alone under the basket, and nobody's even looking at him.
Hammond nearly the steal among the league leaders in that department. Shot clock is down to 4. And Okori is near midcourt. Abuka Okori barely gets it off, finds the rim, but Hammond rises for the rebound.
He told Cameron to get out of the way, and Cameron didn't, and that allowed a second defender to come. Bedford is working really hard trying to keep the ball away from Okori.
Hansberry banging inside. Young wins the battle this time. Geeler flips it. Gerdak deflects it. Last touch by Stanford.
Really good defensive play getting back there on that one.
But if you're Geeler, why are you trying to pitch it ahead to your center, Cameron? I mean, it wasn't a clear pass. If he's all alone, that's one thing, but
Kyle Smith takes the timeout. 9:44 to go in a 6-point game. Castle.
I guess they are still playing football, huh? It's still going on.
The next 2 nights are shaping up to be 2 pretty epic evenings of football. Miami Hurricanes against Ole Miss program has had so much strange circumstances over the past month, and then the Big Ten battle, if you can call it that, with Oregon and Indiana. Bedford denied, but a foul called. Let's just say this: if Indiana can make it to the college football playoff semifinals, that gives hope to every single program in the country.
Well, it's why the transfer portal and NIL is good, because you can be a Vanderbilt in Indiana and build up and get there. It's not all, Alabama and Texas, those schools are still going to be good, but they're not going to dominate like they used to. And it gives those schools like Indiana a chance. Here you got a Pac-12, former Pac-12 school, Oregon, playing, and Indiana, a team that never got there in the history of their program. And that's the kind of good thing about NIL. You always try to find something good about everything, no matter how bad it might be. And you get this balance that you don't get and never did get in basketball and football, because of guys moving around and being able to reinforce your weaknesses and get a good player from a program that's really good that isn't playing that much, and now he's in a program where he gets to play a lot. It's good for everybody.
Geeler doing some ball handling now as the point guard, but it's hard to get the ball to Okori because Bedford is just doing a dynamite job keeping it away from him.
They had all their success with Okori having the ball in his hands.
Geeler wide left, another strong offensive rebound for Hilte. Okori to the basket.
Well, if he's going to shoot the 3, you got to try to contest it, but you don't run out at him so hard that he goes right around, because that's what he wants to do.
14 for Okori now on 5 of 12 shooting. Hilte's got 12 rebounds in the game. Bedford coming off his best scoring game of the season. 25 at Wake. Deny, gets it back. Straight up goes Kamen. 3rd chance for Gerdak. 4th chance coming up for the Hokies as Hansberry keeps it alive with his 11th rebound. Abdallah sets up Hammond. Big shot.
He's playing really good. Really good.
That is a huge possession for Virginia Tech.
4 offensive rebounds, that's all.
That pass through to the feet of Hilte. Great hustle from Kamen. sprawled on the hardwood here in Blacksburg.
I think this is a big possession for Stanford.
Akpara gets a decent look, but he can't make it.
You know, they're in a real danger zone right here. The Cardinals, I mean.
You can feel it.
He got the game back close, and now it's got enough spacing that they're in trouble.
They were down by 12. They cut it to 2. And if Dallas makes it an 11-point game again.
And that's part of the problem they have. You got a guy like that on the other team who can take and make tough shots. Hard to come back in that situation.
18 for Neo.
They got it back in Okora's hands, and that's what they needed to do.
Nifty
This guy
move.
can go.
Abuka Okori now with 16.
He's just got to take the ball. He's got to have the ball now for the last part of this game.
Well, here Stanford drops back into his zone.
He said they were going to try this today, and I think this is probably a pretty good time to do it.
Jim, do you feel a little giddy when you see someone go zone?
It's fun to watch once in a while just to see if it can work.
Well, you get a stop.
And then I can say, ah, yeah, that works.
Why don't more teams run zone? Wonders Jim Boeheim.
Get out of the way.
Give this guy the ball and get out of the way, spread it out a little bit.
Is that something you would say to the team in the huddle? Get the ball to Abuka and get out of the
Yeah, I
way?
remember once I had a great play call, and we had a guy named Pearl Washington, and he said at the end of the play, he said, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball? And I said, give Pearl the ball, will you? And he scored.
Boeheim's a genius, folks. Breakdown with coach and player interviews. That's tomorrow night on the ACC Network. Ole Miss versus Miami for a spot in the national championship game. Foul was on Bedford right before the break, so Stanford ball. They're down by 9. They just got a stop on Tech's previous possession, and they got it in the hands of the guy they want. And with the Healte screen, Okori finds a layup.
I don't know if you can call that a screen, but Healte intentionally got in the way.
He just kept spinning to.
Yeah, he just kept turning.
I don't
Spinning
think
eclipse.
I don't think Okori's missed a shot or didn't get a bucket for his team in the last 15 minutes of this game.
The wall hasn't made much of an impact in the second half in his first game back. He's fouled inside on the floor by Healte.
Well, but Virginia Tech has done such a nice job on the attack in the second half that they're in the double bonus.
Yep.
And so they're going to line for 2 shots every time there's a foul called here at the end of the game. Virginia Tech, you know, their next foul will send Stanford to the line for 1-and-1.
Another missed free throw for the Hokies. Virginia Tech getting the win over Virginia despite missing 3 rotation guys. Mike Young said, we're thin as nickel soup. But he also said we're going to be whole pretty soon, and they're closer to whole tonight with Lowell back in the lineup. Mike Young's got some good one-liners, Coach.
He's an old-timer. He's got a lot of them.
Do you remember when you first crossed paths with Coach Young?
He reminds me of Lou Carnesecca, an old-school guy. He's just funny stuff. Great coach.
What was it like competing against Coach Young?
Great coach. Gives you everything he's got and then just shakes hands afterward. No nonsense.
5 to shoot for Okori. Abuka whistle and a foul.
That's where they kind of bail out a great player sometimes. He's going nowhere. He's going into where there's nothing there. I don't know.
Well, he just drives the ball to the basket, and he saves Stanford on this play because they had him open coming off a double screen on the inside. He actually put his arms underneath him.
Well, that's a great play because it's going to be called.
Yeah.
He goes underneath, it's going to be a foul. But he's single-handedly trying to keep them in this game.
When they had him, he was down inside. He came off a double screen. He was all alone, and Akpara wasn't patient enough. He tried to drive the ball, and Okori picks it up at half court and gets 2 points. He is some player.
He's a winner. He gets things done.
Well, look, he has been a winner when he scored 20. The Cardinal, 9-0 this year, or 8-0 when he scores 20. He's got 20 now. We'll see if that streak can continue. Not if Ben Hammond has anything to say about it.
That's a big shot right now at this stage of the game.
Well, and they were struggling against that zone a little bit, and he just knocks it down.
Hammond's got 12, all in a flurry here in the second half. And Corey loses it.
First mistake in the second half.
Hammond's doing a nice job defensively.
And Corey's first turnover, just the 7th for Stanford. Little razzle-dazzle dribble there from Hansberry. And
well,
now
it's a good thing
Dallas.
it worked because he was standing in front of Mike Young. Mike Young might have got it.
Oh, Dallas, the spin cycle. Can't finish. Hammond tracks the rebound. Shot clock did not reset. And now the officials are going to blow the whistle and say perhaps it should have reset.
I think that hit the rim.
That's the great thing with Dallas. He gets a bigger guy on him, and he just pulls him around and goes by him. And the little guys, he backs down and shoots over him. He's hard to guard.
So what the officials are going to do right now is check and see if that ball hit the rim.
This is where it's hard to tell this year with the new rules whether you can check this or that, or who has to check. Does there have to be a challenge? It's not that easy figuring out what's going on and end the game.
So they're going to check the clock. We'll take the break as well in a 9-point game. Back in Blacksburg with 4:28 to go. Officials reviewing this play during the break. The ball clearly hits the rim, so they reset the shot clock. There'll be 17 on the timer. This was a huge shot for him, and he's really been critical for the Hokies here since halftime.
Great second half. I mean, he's keeping them in there, keeping a little distance here. He's overcoming what the Curry's doing at the other end.
Averaging 15 points off the bench in his last 7 ball games.
By the defense that time, Donovan Young, he went to cover Jaden Shute, and you certainly understand that because Shute can really put the ball in the basket, and Hammond made him pay for it. Now they're back to the man-to-man.
Shute had those 2 shots early, hasn't even gotten a good look lately.
Wow for 2.
Wow.
That's what they like. That's what they've been missing. He can make plays like that.
What's not to like?
Stanford, they got to get something going quickly.
Corey zips it to Young. Gieler passes up the shot. Shute was right there defensively. Akpara over the wall. Rebounded by Shute.
Hasn't been his night. He's 1 for the night.
He's now 1 for 11, has missed all 4 of his 3-point shots. 5 of his 3-point shots now.
Dallas finds his position and takes 2 more. He's got 20.
He just takes the big guys and the little guys. He backs down and scores over. They have no answer for him tonight.
This is the Hokies' largest lead. Hansberry with the defense. That's out of bounds. Last touch by Heelte.
That touch was about 6 hands and 4 feet before it went out of bounds.
Heelte has been fun to watch. He's really battled. He's got 8 points and 13 rebounds. 2 points away from his first collegiate double-double.
Well, Cameron Grant just came in the game for Stanford, and he's in there to do one thing, and that is shoot the 3.
Well, right now, Virginia Tech's just taking over the game.
Yeah.
He's taking over and spinning up Dallas. That's what he's done.
Ambitious pass that somehow worked out for the Hokies. Bedford on the drive. Hammond with 7. Hammond rejected. Cleanly. Down by 13, less than 3 minutes to go. Cardinal gotta go quick. Akpara's on the bench. Gieler is out there, and he nets the 3.
Okay, you know, another assist. Either gets an assist or a bucket.
Well, now they got to get a stop.
Hammond rejects the Lowell screen, and he's fouled on the floor on his way to the rim, but in the double bonus, 2 more free throws coming for Hammond.
Dallas has been very good in the second half, but Hammond did not score in the first half. He's got 12 in the second half. And that's just really clever. He uses his strength, and he does not allow Gieler to get back in front. He just moves into him, forces Gieler to foul.
Well, they got 2 guys playing well and at a high level, and Stanford's got 1 guy.
What does it do when a team has a guy like Abdallas, who's 6'9", who can run the show, and a guy like Hammond, who can also trigger the offense with his speed and stature?
They're hard to guard because of the size. He can take a big guy and the little guy, he backs down. And Hammond is just he's an explosive player. Gives him 2 guys that can make plays. Stanford's got 1 guy and he's making plays, but 1 guy can't do enough.
A Corey and
but he's
1.
going to try.
He's been trying.
He has scored or assisted on 28 of Stanford's last 30 points.
And he goes away from the screen right here, and Bedford, when Bedford does not have some help off that screen, he's had a hard time staying in front of him, even though Bedford has done everything I think a human being can do.
He's just a really, really good player and a hard guy to stop. And he's going away from the screen most of the time.
2 minutes to go.
Well, the interesting thing, if Virginia Tech gets this win tonight, it'll be win number 13. That's as many games as they won all last year.
They asked Mike Young why they're better this year. He says, they're better players. He's the same coach. He's a really good coach. He always has been a good coach. Here goes this guy all the way.
Cardinal with a steal, a Corey with a bucket.
2 big guys, 2 guys waiting to block it, and they can't do it. This kid has got some explosion.
Not over yet. Corey continues to will the Cardinal within striking distance. Can they get 1 more stop? Abdallas for 3. No good. Gieler the rebound.
Now you got to push.
Abuka obliges. Cameron Grant off the bench, swatted by the wall, but it comes back to him. A Corey launches and hits.
Wow.
It's a 4-point game.
I think Virginia Tech should take a little bit more time down here in the last 2 minutes and not take a 3 when they have the ball in the lead. Use another 15 seconds on the clock.
28 points now for Abuka Okori. And the Cardinal will not go away here in Blacksburg. An 8-0 run for Stanford, courtesy of their #1 freshman.
And how about that? He has scored or assisted on 34 of Stanford's last 36 points.
I don't know when I've seen that before.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I really haven't. And they should be really out of this game, but this game mirrors a lot of games you watch in college basketball. Teams get these leads like TCU and Kansas, Virginia Tech, 10-12, Syracuse 20 last night, and all of a sudden it's a game. You turn around and teams get this lead, and then they take 2 quick shots, and all of a sudden they give up 2 threes, and there's no clock, there's no, let's make sure we take care of the ball and wait and use some clock up here.
It was an all-timer at Allen Fieldhouse last night in Lawrence with Kansas coming back against TCU. Mike Young hoping to avoid that similar fate that the Horned Frogs endured.
All they have to do is use the whole clock and maybe, just get, that's what they can't move.
Whose ball? Hokies ball.
They got lucky.
Kyle Smith might want to review it.
And he's asking if he has a timeout, he can do it.
Worth the challenge?
Yeah. Oh, if he's got a challenge, he should take it.
He's got a challenge, and he's got 2 timeouts left.
But the referee is telling him, if you want a challenge, go ahead, but we're not going to change it.
No, well, I don't think it was. I think it was off Stanford. I've got a bad angle.
Just because you're all the way on that side of
the
the
ref is 2 feet away from it. He should be able to get that call, but it looked like
previous out-of-bounds play is being challenged by Stanford.
But in reality, all you have to do with Virginia Tech is hold the ball until you get to the 40, 35, and take a shot. And then you got.
When did the ball go out of bounds?
Well, they ruled it wasn't out of bounds until it was touched by Stanford.
Now, what happens if they look and realize, well, the ball never did go out of bounds? Yeah, it's out of bounds.
It's out of bounds, but was it out of bounds before Grant touched it? Did Grant touch it when it was out of bounds?
Can we get the overhead look one more time?
It's off Stanford, I think.
I think so, too. Maybe we should ask Mike Young. It looks like he has the best view.
Was really close, though.
But the ball was not out of bounds when Grant touched it. But I think in this situation, you know, it's the end of the game. It's a crucial out of bounds call. If you have a challenge, you may as well use it.
Oh, yeah, you have to use it there. No question.
I think Mike Young would be unbiased and objective if they asked him.
Sure he would.
They shouldn't have changed the rule. In the last 2 minutes, the referee should be able to go and look at a call. They changed it because they were looking at every call. 8 of them. Well, it shouldn't be the referee's discretion. But they're afraid. They're afraid if they don't look and they get it wrong, somebody's going to come down on them. But those kind of calls there, they can determine the game. It's especially like a tie game when the ball goes out of bounds and you're not sure. You got to look at that. You got to be able to look at that. And the challenge is, once you use 1 and 2, even if you get them right, they're all gone. To me, that makes no sense with the rule.
But in this particular case, it doesn't matter if it's gone. You don't have enough time.
And look, we think it's going to be Virginia Tech ball. There's 14 on the shot clock. But Stanford, you play this out, right?
They're taking a lot of time over there if they're just going to give it to Virginia Tech.
What I think you do here, if you're Virginia Tech and you get the ball, use the whole 14 seconds, and you don't give them a shot that can get them in transition so you can set your defense. Now they got to score. It's going to be inside 30. Now you just got to take care of the ball and make your free throws so you win the game.
So they're going to give it to Virginia Tech, and they were checking to make sure the shot clock and the game clock were all synced up.
Virginia Tech's just got to take care of the ball and make sure you use the whole shot clock when you shoot, and then get back on defense.
But if you're Stanford, do you foul right away?
After review, the play on the sideline is inconclusive. Therefore, Virginia Tech ball. Stanford loses their timeout as well as their challenge for the rest
try
of
to
the
play
game.
this defense out, try to get down and score, then you press and foul. I don't think you foul now.
Shot clock at 14. Hansberry gives to Abdallas.
We're going to play it out. He should back this guy down.
Now
He's going to go by this guy.
Decent defense from Heelte. Shot missed. Rebound to Corey. Cardinal down 4.
Got to score quickly.
Donovan Young to make it a 1-point game. Yes, sir! 28.5 to go. Unless you get a 10 count, you got a foul. Bold pass. Shoot makes the catch.
You got a foul.
Yes, they do. They foul Abdallas, who's a 68% free throw shooter this season. But even if he makes them both, Stanford's got a chance.
It's not a bad play to try to get the steal there. That was a good play. And now you just, if you get a guy missing here, this is the Curry again. What a play he's making. I mean, he's got assists or buckets. What is it now? 37 out of 40 points or something crazy.
It is crazy.
But I'm telling you, Donovan Young has been fabulous. He's made 3 3-point baskets, and he's made 3-point baskets in big situations.
And he had scored 2 points in the 31 minutes he had played all season in just the 3 games since he returned from his
Stanford, you got to block out.
Now you see what we've been seeing. A team with a big lead. This is a free throw or something. Now all of a sudden, Stanford has a chance to win.
Dallas goes 1 for 2. It's a 2-point game with 16.2 remaining.
And you get the ball to Curry and let him go and just Take
They just spread out the court and let it go.
He'll either get a 2 or he'll throw it out if they help, and he'll get an open 3.
Kyle Smith said after the Notre Dame game he didn't sleep for a couple of nights. They bounced back from that and beat Louisville. If they could overcome a 12-point second-half deficit and steal this one tonight.
I mean, you don't ever say it, but this game really was almost over. I mean, it was this close to being over. But, you know, Virginia Tech didn't score, and then all of a sudden he's just making plays down here. I mean, this is as good a second half as you're going to probably see from a player this year. He's got 25 points, probably 4 or 5 assists, and has created a couple other things.
Now, I will remind everybody that Cameron Grant is in the game, and his sole function is to shoot 3.
And Chisholm Okpara remains on the bench. Their second leading scorer, averages 15 a game. But he struggled tonight, just 1 of 11.
Well, keep in mind that Keeler is an outstanding three-point shooter.
And a clutch three-point
Yes.
shooter.
This is going to be the freshman. He's going to go and make it happen.
The freshman from Nashua, New Hampshire, Abuka Okori,
Oh, wow.
shoots for the lead.
Wow.
Stanford would
Wow.
have won with
Oh.
2.8 to go.
He was taking that the whole way. He was never thinking about it. When he came back over and they switched to the big guy, he's taking that shot. He never thought about anything else.
31 for Okori. And now the Hokies trail.
Well, Dallas just is afraid to go out close to him because he can drive it so well.
You realize they ran the same play the whole second half. Either pick, go the other way, or isolation, he goes. That's it.
Well, what they did there is Bedford, normally they would go and put 2 guys on Okori, but Bedford went with Young because Young has made a couple of threes.
And now he's got a 1-on-1. I mean, it's still like, that's a tough shot.
It's an unbelievably tough shot.
At the end of a game?
Well, now the officials are looking to make sure they got the time right.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much time here.
Well, the time stops when the ball goes through the net.
Yeah.
It's not when it enters the basket, and so they put 0.5 seconds back on.
5/10, right?
Now I'm telling you, 3.3 seconds, you can get it up the court and score.
You can. I mean, this kid, I think everybody knows now.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. How many better freshmen other than him? A couple, 2, 3, maybe.
An unreal performance. He has literally put the team on his back. 3.3 seconds for Virginia Tech.
26 points, 3, 4 assists in this half. Wow.
Hokies led by as many as 13.
You want to catch it running away from your basket, going toward the other basket if you can.
And gentlemen, they were up 13 with 3:36 to go.
Same as Virginia game, really. They had the same lead. Virginia got them into overtime. I don't think that Virginia Tech can get into overtime, and with a 1-point game, they're probably not going to, no matter what happens.
It's a 17-3 run for Stanford over the last 3.5 minutes.
This is where I like the Bryce Drew play. You know, you throw it to someplace around the foul line, try to hit somebody. It's hard to get up the court at 3.3. I mean, really hard. We had one kid, Tyler Ennis did it. I set up this great play, and then Tyler got dribbled up against Pittsburgh and made a half-court shot.
I think that's a great play.
Nice play, Tyler.
For those looking for Cal and Virginia from JPJ, that game starting on the ESPN app will get you to Team Corey, Mike Corey, Corey Alexander in Charlottesville as soon as we are done here in Blacksburg.
Well, originally Stanford was not guarding the inbounds passer, and then Mike Young called the timeout, and so they took Grant out of the game and put Cameron in to try to contest this pass.
Of Dallas throwing the inbound, can run the baseline. Deflected by Healte. And he scores at the buzzer and the foul as Virginia Tech stopped playing.
I don't know what happened there.
Well, I think he turned his ankle.
Yeah.
You know, now this is a Healte. I mean, he's dropped the ball inside a couple of times, but other than that, he's been fabulous on the board. This is just a heck of a play to contest that pass. I mean, That's a real risk of committing a foul, but he didn't.
Abdallas was off balance when he threw the pass.
So he just steps in. Now he's got the ball, stumbles, keeps his pivot foot. How does he do that?
Game's over.
Yeah, the game's over.
Yeah, but the question, they got to go and look to see if he was fouled before the buzzer sounded.
It was close. It was close.
Well, it looked like he was fouled as he made the steal, but they didn't call that.
But he turned his ankle.
What a comeback!
What a
for the
comeback!
Cardinals.
You gotta. This kid is special. He's a special player. This kid is 18 years old. He's
40 of the last 42 Cardinal points, either scored or assisted by that 18-year-old from Nashua, New Hampshire.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
No, the game is over, and Stanford has the road win in Blacksburg.
I'm going to
Unbelievable.
go out on a limb here. Nobody has ever scored or assisted on that percentage of points in college basketball history.
Maraviccian, perhaps.
Wow, that was really something.
Unbelievable. Cal and Virginia are coming up. Mike Corey Alexander have the call from JPJ. For Jim Boeheim, Dan Bonner, and our entire crew, Evan Leffler saying so long from Blacksburg. We are stunned. Stanford pulls off the 1-point win miraculously.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sure.
Okay. Abuka, can you hear us, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Good
good.
game. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What were you saying to the crowd? We're not interviewing you yet. What were you saying to the crowd after that game-winning bucket?
Don't say it.
I don't think I can say it
No,
on TV.
don't say it. Don't say it. You never know who's listening. Don't say it.
Yeah.
All right. Stanford over Virginia Tech, 69-68, and the star of the show, Abuka Akori. Abuka, congratulations. You took over the game in the second half. How'd you do it?
Man, I don't even know, man. I give all the credit to God. Just trying to do his work, just trying to be the best that I can be. And, yeah, just give it my all every time I step on the court.
Abuka, it's Coach Boeheim here. I tell you what, I've been in this game for 50 years. I've never seen anybody contribute, score, or assist on, I think, 40 out of the last 42 or 3 points that your team scored. That is an unbelievable. And all you did was either take the screen or take it away and go the other way. And it was amazing to watch. And I think when you got to switch at the end, you were taking that three the whole time, weren't you?
Yeah, I saw he was backed up. I work on that shot all the time, and I just shot it with confidence, and it went in.
What now? When you guys were down with only 3 minutes left, what did you talk about in the huddle there? What changes did you make?
Yeah, the main key was just stop fouling. They were getting a lot of free throws. I felt like we were getting some good possessions on offense. It was just we need to get stops on the other end. And once we started to do that, we just chipped away at the lead.
Abuka, small margins between winning and losing. You steal one from 13 down with 3.5 to go. You get this road win. What does this victory mean for this young team?
It means a lot. We're just going to keep building, keep improving every game, win or lose, and just keep putting the work in every day.
It was fun to watch. Congratulations. Good luck in Charlottesville on Saturday. Thanks so much.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.